The CAF smelled of roasted coffee and fresh bread, a warmth that didn't just come from heaters, but from quiet conversations and the rhythm of life. Outside, snow coated the city in soft white silence. Daniel Hayes sat alone at his usual corner table, staring through the window. His soup sat untouched. He came here every morning, not for the food, but for the peace it once brought. Before everything changed 2 winters ago, his wife's car never made it past an intersection. Since then, silence had been his closest companion. That morning, a soft voice broke through the hum of the CAF. A woman stood before him, clutching a little boy who could not have been more than 3 years old. "Can I sit here?" she asked quietly. There were empty tables, but this one was closest to the sunlight. Daniel finally nodded. "If you sit," he said gently, "you have to eat too." Her name was Grace Mitchell. She looked young, maybe 28, but exhaustion had aged her. Her son, Lucas, clung tightly to her. Daniel noticed the frayed edges of her coat and the mismatched mittens. It didn't take much to see she had been walking for hours. She had lost her job 2 weeks ago. Shelters were full, and she had come to the CAF simply to warm Lucas up. Daniel didn't ask questions. He simply wanted her and her son to eat. Lucas giggled as crumbs fell onto the table, and for the first time in years, Daniel felt something stir inside him. A faint warmth, a reminder that life could still hold small moments of joy. Grace thanked him over and over, but Daniel only nodded. He didn't need repayment. What he needed was to feel human again. The next morning, he returned to the CAF, unsure if she would be there, and she was. This time, she smiled. Lucas laughing at the snow outside the window. She told him about her dreams, how she had once wanted to study nursing, how life had other plans. Daniel listened quietly, offering gentle encouragements. Weeks passed. Grace found a part-time job at a daycare. Daniel, an architect, helped her with government forms. Lucas slowly began calling him Mr. Dan. What began as a small act of kindness was growing into something deeper. Trust, companionship, and quiet affection. Then came a setback. The daycare where Grace worked unexpectedly closed. Rent was due. Bills were piling up. She tried to hold it together, but Daniel noticed the tears in her eyes. "You helped me enough," she whispered. "You don't have to fix my life." "I'm not trying to fix it," he said quietly. "I just don't want you to fight alone." He offered her a temporary job as his housekeeper. Grace hesitated, pride warring with need, but eventually she agreed. What neither realized was how much this arrangement would change their lives. Through simple daily routines, life returned to Daniel's house. Grace brought warmth back into the rooms that had been silent for years. She cooked, cleaned, and sometimes sang softly while Lucas built towers from blocks. Daniel, who had shut himself off after losing his wife, found hope returning. Grace found stability and a sense of family she hadn't known in years. Their bond grew slowly, gently. Not a fairy tale, but real, a story of 2 broken lives healing side by side. One evening, Daniel finally spoke what he had felt for months. "Grace," he said, voice trembling, "you and Lucas, you've brought something back I thought was gone forever." Tears filled her eyes. And for the first time in years, Daniel allowed himself to hope again. Months passed, winter melted into spring, and one bright morning, the 3 of them returned to the CAF where it all began. Lucas sat between them, munching on a croissant. "Can I sit here?" Grace whispered playfully. "Only if you eat too," Daniel replied. Their laughter filled the room, a sound full of gratitude, hope, and quiet joy. One small act of kindness had changed everything. Have you ever helped a stranger? Or been helped when you least expected it? Tell us in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more heartwarming stories of hope, kindness, and second chances.